Well, it's very different now than what it was then. Tremendous challenges. I can remember going into Pleasanton, Texas, for example, which is about 30 miles southeast of San Antonio, to organize what we had been told was going to be a group of about 45, 50 people, and getting the directions, going into that town, and having difficulty finding anything that looked like a meeting place. So finally, after about almost an hour going back and forth through this section of Pleasanton, there was this little young lady there, about a 9-year-old girl, in the front lawn watering, and so stopped, got off, and asked if this certain family lived there. And she said, yes, this is the house, he lives here. And not seeing any cars for anywhere, not in the driveway adjacent or down the street. I said, well, is this the place for the LULAC meeting? He said, yes, they're all waiting for you. And I thought, well, maybe she doesn't know what I mean. So we went in, this team that I had, and sure enough, there was about 50 people there inside that house in a family room type setting. And what had happened is that they were so afraid of retaliation, the threats that if they organized LULAC, they would be fired from their respective jobs, that they had all been dropped off one by one on a Sunday afternoon over a period of time so that they would not arouse suspicion.
In 1940, LULAC plays a major role in filing discrimination cases for the Federal Employment Practices Commission, the first federal civil rights agency in the country.
Well, the life was progressing gradually. We'd be getting somewhat better. Jobs were more available with the programs that President Roosevelt initiated, the WPA, the CCC, and other programs that were federally funded. Jobs became available, although they were still not as available for the Hispanic community. At that time, we were not Hispanics, we were Mexicans, and we were proud of it. We didn't want to be called Hispanic, because that would mix us up with other portions of the Hispanic community. But anyhow, we managed to get along very well. Then, of course, the war came on, and things really changed then. Now, after the war, there were a lot of the people who were in LULAC up to a time and since then, who went to school and became attorneys and doctors and whatever, mostly through the GI Bill of Rights that was established by Congress right after the war ended. So that was a big help to the Mexicanos, where they were able to get an education and really make progress and make life easier and better for themselves.
Currently, we're celebrating the opening of the new World War II memorial, and there were many Mexican-American veterans who came back from the Second World War to find the doors of opportunity closed to them. After having fought for our freedoms, they still were discriminated against when they came back home because they were Mexican-American.
After World War II in 1946 in Santa Ana, California, LULAC files the Mendes versus Westminster lawsuit that ends 100 years of segregation in California's public schools and becomes a key precedent for Brown versus Board of Education. In Houston, Texas, LULAC pilots the Little School of 400 project in 1957, which was a preschool program dedicated to teaching 400 basic English words to Spanish-speaking preschool children. This program became the model for Head Start under Lyndon B. Johnson administration.
Senator Yarborough met with a group of Hispanics from the NEA, Hispanic teachers, and in Phoenix, and they persuaded him to sponsor a law that would set up a system of teaching people in Spanish, and we called it Bilingual Education Act. Senator Yarborough sponsored the law, and he got it passed, and it became the first bilingual education law that was ever enacted by the Congress of the United States.
In an effort to attain better jobs for our community, in 1966, LULAC and the American GI Forum joined forces to organize SER, Jobs for Progress, now the largest and most successful work program in the nation. But that wasn't always the case.
Hispanics moving up the ladder. In Corpus Christi in 1960, when I returned to practice law, the postmistress at the time would not allow Hispanics to work at the counters to serve the public at the post office. Hispanics were not allowed to answer the telephone. That we only had one Hispanic police officer who had the rank of sergeant. No other Hispanics with any rank. We only had one captain in the fire department. So there was great. There was not much opportunity given to Hispanics or much hope given to Hispanics to rise up above these mediocre positions that were generally offered to the Hispanic. Today, an Hispanic is a fire chief, an Hispanic is the police chief. Today we have elected Hispanics running, helping run the city council, helping run the school boards.
Because of the growing demand of having to take legal action, in 1968,